right. I'm bringing us up, and we are on.
Bringing us up. I like that.
As I slowly lower the music down.
I like that. Just bringing us up.
Yeah, it's producer speak. It's like, I'm bringing you up. Yeah. So it's when you tell them, hey, your mic's gonna be hot, so don't cuss, don't say anything bad.
How many times has that happened?
Not a lot.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot, but there's definitely times where I'll be like, all right, bringing you up, and then I bring them up, and they cough into the microphone.
Nice.
It's like, well, I told you.
It's kind of like I just did.
Yeah.
Because I was just like.
But welcome back to the On The Go podcast show. The On The Go show, On The Go with Jacob and James. I am your host, Jacob D'Antone, and then across from me is my co-host,
James. What's going on, Jacob?
Hey, nothing much. We are back on a Monday, and we're kind of having a bit of a slow week, so I decided, what if we came up with some sort of prompt for us to talk about? So I was thinking, if you can meet a celebrity, or celebrities, if you can meet any kind of celebrity, who would you want to meet? And if you even meet them or met them, what would you say to them? Would you have a conversation with them? Like, would you even like try to meet them? If you were in that situation where it's like, oh, hey, there's so-and-so, would you even try to meet them? Yeah,
that's a good topic. That's a good topic.
Yeah.
Because I think there is no celebrity after seeing a lot of celebrities nowadays, because you see them on social media all the time.
Right.
So you see their entire lives.
Yeah.
And with some celebrities, you could even message them. Some of them will reply back.
That is true. Some of them, they have their own people.
Yeah. And then sometimes they do like those little Q&As and Instagram stories.
Mm-hmm.
So some people you can, but I'm trying to think. For me, it'll probably be like old school celebrities. Quincy Jones is somebody who I really admire.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity. He's a producer, a music producer, but he's somebody important that I would always want to talk to. What would I ask him? That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? I see why. Because when you're prompt with that question, yeah. What would you say?
Right. Because like, what do you really talk to celebrities about? How can you really talk to a celebrity to get on their level? Now I know like some people, like you can go to a Comic-Con and you can wait in line and like, or there's sometimes like the B and C list actor, like the CW actors who are at Comic-Cons, and then they don't have a line, so you can just kind of walk up and talk to them.
And they don't charge that much either.
Right. But it's like, what would you really say to somebody? Go for it.
I know. I will ask them the thought process behind the Austin Powers theme song.
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, because he made that. He made that song, and it got a lot of praise for it too.
Oh, okay.
So I would ask him his work behind it. I would ask him about a lot of the songs that he made from back then, and it was like even the songs that he produced with Michael Jackson. I would ask him a lot about that as well. Yeah, man, I love Quincy Jones. Howard Stern, that's another guy I would like to meet.
Right, that would be.
Although
he'd be interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's a great interviewer.
Yeah.
I love him.
A lot of people are upset with Howard Stern now because, back in the day, he used to be like real raunchy and stuff.
Yeah.
But nowadays, he's more, I guess, like more liberal, more woke,
calm down. Mm-hmm.
And so people are like, oh, Howard Stern used to be this way, but now he's this way. What does he know? But I'm like, I don't know. People can change.
Yeah, people change. People change all the time. Like, what has never changed is his interview style process. Yeah. He still asks some of the best questions. Him, at one point, Larry King, when he was still alive, I love Larry King. Mm-hmm. And I know, some of our audience don't know who Larry King is. He was a guy with suspenders, glasses. He's come on CNN. Yeah. And he had some great interviewers. Yeah. Another person I would like to meet would have been Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose was another guy that used to interview a lot of important people, dignitaries, civil rights activists and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He was accused of sexual assault, so he's not on TV anymore, of course. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, but he was also pretty doggone good as a good interviewer. So I don't really have celebrities I want to meet. I'm just like, I can see from afar. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to, but not anymore. So I don't know what type of questions I would ask him. It would probably be something off the cusp, most likely. Right. How about you?
Well, I don't think I have anybody in particular that I would want to that I would want to meet, that I would want to have a discussion with. Now, gosh damn, my train of thought just like.
Oh, okay.
But no, back in the day, You know, I used to listen to a lot of Kevin Smith stuff, so I always wanted to meet Kevin Smith. And I ended up being able to meet Kevin Smith because he had Jay and Silent Bob reboot come out.
Yeah.
And so I did the VIP thing and I did the photo op thing. So I got to meet him briefly. And he did a Q&A afterwards, before or afterwards. But he did a Q&A. And I didn't get up in line to ask him a question because
God dog it, Jacob.
I
You had your shot.
I thought about it, but like I didn't know, even back then, I was like, what would I really ask him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was still cool to just be in that same room with him or whatever. But like, so after the movie, they do the photo op. So everyone's in line. And this is kind of where I stopped caring about photo ops for like any kind of event or even like a Comic-Con or whatever, even though this wasn't Comic-Con. But because all it was like you get in line and then, all right, take your picture.
Boom. Next person on.
Take your picture.
Yep.
Boom. No,
it's an assembly line.
Right. Nothing against Kevin Smith or even Jason Mewes because it was both of them. It's my profile picture on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I saw it.
But nothing against them. It's just like, it's kind of like the reality of like, oh, this isn't really like meeting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they don't have time to talk. Like we got to keep going.
Yeah, you stand next to them for a second and that's about it. I think he asked me if I liked the movie and then like me and like my fanboy reaction was like, oh, you know, Jay and Silent Bob was like your Avengers. This movie was like your Endgame. Just because, I mean, it kind of is. Like Kevin Smith's movie universe was almost like one of the very first like cinematic universes, right? I mean, I think there's probably a couple more before him and then some more after him before Marvel came along, but he was one of the OG cinematic universes and in the way that like every movie was in the same.
It was all connected.
Yeah. And Jay and Silent Bob was kind of his Avengers because all those characters kind of came together at one point or another in that movie. And then even in the reboot, he brought those characters back. So, and Endgame had just came out like, I think 6 months before or whatever.
Yeah, it did.
So it really was like, that was my honest and earnest like review of the movie. It was like, yeah, this is like your Endgame. You know, you got to bring your characters back together or whatever. But man, I think how stupid and silly that sounded probably. Like,
I bet he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The next person.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like I was just so excited. I wanted to get it out to him. But then, you know, I had to go. So, but I met Jason Mewes a couple of times. Because like, I think the first time I met him was a few years ago in Austin Comic-Con. I drove all the way from here to Austin because I was meeting up with some friends up there anyway. So I drove all the way from here to Austin and I got him. We worked at a theater, right? And at the theater, they had like one of these random days where like, I don't know, they brought in some people who were selling pictures.
Oh, I've seen those people before.
Yeah. So they like one of the pictures they were selling was a picture of a zombified Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, that sounds kind of badass.
It's a cool picture, and I bought it. And then this Comic-Con came around, so I took that picture with me, and I got Jason Mewes to sign above the J in the Jay and Silent Bob. And so now I just need to meet Kevin Smith again.
So you can get him to sign, which I'm pretty sure you probably will.
Yeah, at some point I hopefully will, because I need to get that signed. Like I have it put away in a safe spot, but I need to get that signed.
Especially by us doing a podcast now, so it's like
right.
Things might start blowing up for us here pretty soon.
And then maybe I can have a real conversation with him, because I would actually like to be on Kevin Smith's Smodcast if he still does it. I don't know, because
what's it called? Fat Man?
Not Fat Man on Batman, but he has another one called Smodcast. And for a while, he was doing interviews with like other celebrities and stuff. But the way he does interviews is really good, because he's not just like, he doesn't want to talk to you about what you're doing now. He literally wants to bring it all the way back to like, okay,
the beginning,
very beginning. Like you're a child, you know what sparked this, and then like they go through the career together. They're fun and interesting interviews to listen to, because it's just.
Those are always the best interviews. Yeah. I like those interviews. I don't like interviews that ask the same freaking question.
Yeah.
That you would get like from Access Hollywood.
Right.
Oh, what's it like making, this such and such movie?
Right. I mean, like some of those questions would pop up, obviously.
Eventually.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. Like his interview process was always really cool to me. But so it's been a bit of a dream to be on that podcast, but I don't even know if it's a real podcast anymore. Like I think he has all of his stuff behind a paywall, and now he's got a movie theater in Jersey that he runs.
So you probably don't even have time to do a podcast anymore.
Yeah, I really don't know. I know they still do Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah, they still do it, but it's not as frequent anymore.
Right. So I I'm still a fan of Kevin Smith's stuff, but it just, I guess like my fanboyism has like fallen off over the years. And most of that's because I would listen to his stuff to like get pumped up. Inspire me about what I'm doing, because he's like some kid from Jersey, which Jersey is kind of like a smallish town.
It is.
Right? So, or Hoboken or Highlands, New Jersey. Not Hoboken. What am I doing?
Hoboken.
But yeah, he's from Highlands, New Jersey. And so it's kind of like a small town. And like, I kind of related to that and just.
So is it because that he has rose in a different stature now? It's probably why your fanboy is just not like.
I don't think so, because I think he's doing everything he's wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think because like recently he bought his hometown movie theater, and now he plays his movies. He plays other movies. Like he has whole events there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like indie movies or even Hollywood movies. Like he hosts events there. And it just kind of feels like that's what he's always wanted to do anyway. And so it's cool that I've always respected him because he just seems like he's always been doing what he's wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't just do these Hollywood scripts for no reason.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's always, once again, passion.
Yeah.
You know, it's a passion. Everything that he does is always passion. I mean, I've never really paid the close attention to Kevin Smith that much. I knew him, of course.
Yeah. From
Jay and Silent Bob. And I saw a couple movies, but you know, I am happy that he reached a level of success.
Yeah.
You know.
And he's still going. And you know, it's just his career has evolved in different ways and whatnot. And it's still cool to see him doing stuff. But yeah, like I met him and I met Jay, and I could barely speak when I spoke to them. Oh, God. You know what I mean? And I mean, also it's like, okay, Jay is newly sober.
He is.
Or not newly sober. He's been sober for a few years. So it's not like, you know, he's not Jay from the movies.
Yeah, he's a totally different guy.
So there's that. And then, you know, Kevin Smith is Kevin Smith. And so it's like, what do you really say to them?
You got to have a good question.
Right.
You got to have a hell of a question to answer.
Right.
Ask
outside of like, I really like your work. Well, no duh. That's why you're here meeting me. Like, what do you...
You wouldn't be here talking to me if you didn't like my work.
Yeah. So...
That's kind of like those Q&As when you watch these movies and they have those Q&As after each movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you always get that one person ask the same exact question that the other person already asked.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, that served no purpose then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember this one guy that I work with, and he would always bring up these celebrities that he knows and met.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I could say that the same thing too, because I've met a lot of celebrities over my young span of life.
Yeah.
Meeting Michael Strahan was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Football player. Meeting Tavis Smiley was cool too as well.
Yeah.
Political activist. And also best-selling author.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love Tavis Smiley. He's come on PBS back in the day. He's a good interviewer too, by the way. As you can see, my trend is more people that they got a deep contact with stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's like I'm not impressed with celebrities.
Yeah,
I'm not impressed.
Well, because
not like I used to be anyway.
I haven't always thought, but like I had this thought process a few years that like our celebrities are just like the closest things that we're gonna get to like real life gods.
Yeah,
you know, like physically tangible
people that you can touch.
Yeah, and to some extent worship.
Yeah, worship. Yeah,
to some extent, people do worship.
They do
celebrities like they're gods or idols or whatever, you know? And so that's just kind of what it is sometimes. It's like you have to remind yourself like these, you know,
they're human beings.
They're human beings. They're not otherworldly, and just
like when Eva Longoria came to where I work at, I saw her. She was short.
Yeah.
She was cute. She's very fine, very beautiful. But I just didn't look at her like, oh my God, it's Eva Longoria. I was like, oh, it's Eva Longoria. Cool.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Or even John Krasinski. John Krasinski's been
him too.
Yeah.
Like he was really nice guy.
Yeah.
Really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Looked at him like
but they're just people. Guy. Yeah. They're just regular people.
As long as you respect them, of course.
Right.
And that's the end of
right.
As long as you show them respect, that's all. You know, now if you somebody like Carl Lewis, I wish you could pull this up. But Carl Lewis was his famous track star. You might have to pull it up on YouTube.
Let me see.
And I met him before, and I don't know. He doesn't know who the hell I am, even if from a being. he was very famous for he's from Houston now, and he came to U of H long time ago. It was a long time ago.
So what am I pulling up? The national anthem?
Carl Lewis national anthem. Sorry for the coughing, guys. Just I'm under the weather right now.
Okay.
And he butchered the mess out of it.
I have it right here.
This is the best thing in the world. It's by far the best entertainment you'll ever see.
Oh, come on.
Ad.
No, okay. I'm about to say.
Unskippable ad.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry said in one of his movies that a man's got to know his limitations.
A man's got to know his
Carl
limitations.
Lewis apparently didn't see the movie. If his rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner prior to the Nets-Bulls game last night is any indication, as a public service, we present now only excerpts. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
All right, are we all ready?
When he asked that, you knew right there you're going to get a good gym. This is going to do.
Oh, say, can you see?
Promising?
That's my part right there. That's my part right there. Red flag. Uh-oh.
I'm going to make up for it now.
That's my part right there.
For the land of
That's my part. Here we go.
free.
The free. I loved it, man. It was great. It was great. But he doesn't like that he gets synonymously hooked to that.
But he didn't do that on purpose, right? He just...
Oh, he did that on purpose.
Was that on purpose?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. So he was on a radio station back when we had 97.9 The Box. And they used to always make fun of him with the national anthem. And he called in. I don't think he called into the show, but he had like a written letter where he was just like, hey, this is not funny. You guys are clowns. Stop making fun of me. So I didn't know that he was that sensitive about that national anthem. So the first time I met him was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey,
You didn't ask him about it, did you?
I did.
Oh, no.
It was like one of those college type deals. And I said, hey, you hang in there, Carl Lewis, and we still love you, baby. He said, no matter what you saying.
Oh, no.
And he was just like, he looked at me like, young man. He just shook his hand like that, shook his little finger. I was like, okay, Carl Lewis. And then the second time I met Carl Lewis.
The second time?
he didn't know who I was on either instances. So yeah. I can tell this story and I won't get sued.
That's the funny thing about being celebrities is like you'll remember them more than they'll remember you, right? Because like you're just a blurry face.
Yeah, like I met him in U of H. I was still in school. Yeah, I was still in high school. It was like one of those college trip type deals. Yeah, and then I met him again. I forgot where this event was. It was in 2011 or 2012, and I met him again. And I said, "Hey, nice to meet you, Mr. Carl Lewis." Now that time he kind of looked at me with a death stare. I was like, maybe he did know who the hell I was.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It was something that my aunt was because my aunt on my mother's grandfather's side, all the not famous people, but all the important dignitaries and stuff like that. So I met Carl Lewis. I did not think I was gonna meet him. And this is a true story. This is a true story. I don't want anyone to think this is not true. I have met Carl Lewis before. A famous track star. I have met him. And yes, he did not like me on either instances. He looked at me with a death stare.
Well, I mean, the first time you kind of called him out. So.
I did. I was young. And then the second time I met him, he just looked at me like, I was like, nice to meet you, Mr. Carl Lewis. You know how you kind of shake your hand? Yeah. It's kind of like, it's not a firm handshake. It's just like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah. Me and Carl Lewis don't get along like that. Me and Carl Lewis got beef, I guess.
Well, you know, he could have just been tired by the time he met you.
Probably.
I've heard stories of people meeting like Danny Trejo and Danny Trejo not being friendly.
It was at a gala, so yeah.
Right. But then they met Danny Trejo another time, and then he was like as
totally
friendly
nice.
can be. Yeah. Because also when you think about it, okay, so you go to these Comic-Cons, and I mean, I know there's other instances to meet celebrities, but Comic-Cons are like the biggest
That's
ones,
the biggest
right?
one.
So you go to these Comic-Cons, and you do these photo ops, or you do these Q&A with these celebrities. These people are like out there like freaking zoo animals, right? Yep. Like they're herded out there, and then they got to meet 20 different people asking the same stupid
question.
And then, you know, sometimes by the time you get to them, they're a little grumpy.
Yep,
they're human beings. It happens. Like,
it happens all the time.
Like, one of the Q&As we went to before was for Ron Perlman.
I know that was brutal.
Oh, you can tell he's just a jaded old man.
Yeah, he looked like it.
But I mean, he was nice, but just like the questions they asked him, they were like, "Oh, there was one person who was always like, would you ever be in a Marvel movie?"
Oh God, he's one of those people.
Because like he's done comic book movies before. He's Hellboy. And all that stuff. And like his answer was very much like no, but it was pretty much like in the vein of like I like doing roles that challenge me. He's like, I did Hellboy because it was a challenge. I was Beast and a Beauty and the Beast because it was a challenge. Like he's like, I see different things in my roles that I pick. I don't. He put down the Marvel movies a little bit because he's like, they're.
I'm gonna call a little BS on the whole challenging situation. Yeah. I like some of the movies he was in. It was not very challenging, but okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember if he used challenging per se, but like the way he gave the answer was like I look for a different variety of movies besides Marvel and
every celebrity says that.
Yeah.
Every celebrity says that until that check rolls around.
That is true.
Every celebrity says that. Your career.
I kind of believe it from Ron Perlman though. I don't think he'd do a Marvel.
Well, probably
movie.
not. I think if James Gunn was to ask him, maybe.
I mean, are him and James Gunn buddies though?
No, but but you never know. You never know. Hell, him and Michael Rooker is cool like that.
That's true.
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know, but you could tell he was just very much like a tired, jaded man.
That's why I don't want to ask questions because I understand they're in their feelings,
right?
And I'm gonna be in my feelings if you try to ignore me. So
right.
you go pull a Carl Lewis on me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, hey.
Because I mean, you get jet set around the world, and you like this is part of your income in a way.
I get it.
So you have to kind of like dance, monkey, dance. But at a certain point, you
I
don't
didn't
want to
sing
do
the
the
national
dance
anthem.
anymore.
I also didn't sing the national anthem, so I don't know what you getting mad at me for. So I mean, hey, it's all you, Carl Lewis.
Yeah, right.
But celebrities. Yeah, I don't have any celebrities I want to meet. No.
No, I think I've met the celebrities I'd want to meet. Like
me too.
even I think about like bands and stuff that I like. Like I don't even know if I'd want to meet like band members. Like,
yeah, do you really want to meet them out of the drunken state?
What am I gonna ask them?
Like when they got like groupies and chicks hanging off the hanging off their arms. It's like, dude, you going somewhere?
Yeah.
You got some drugs for us?
No.
Okay, well you going about your business then. You got some coke for us? You gonna go on about your business.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, I just nobody I want to meet. Rappers included.
Yeah.
Rappers, hip hop people, none of them.
No. I used to really like Russell Brand a lot. The comedian.
That guy. Yeah. Yeah.
This was a while back.
Well, no, I ain't talking about like now, but I'm like, I know what you mean. But I never been a big fan of him then.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that funny.
I don't know. I liked his comedy back then, but then like over the years, I'm just like, no, I don't think I'd want to meet Russell Brand.
I mean, his comedy to you was kind of funny.
Yeah, but I mean, like, think about this. I watched him in high school, and his humor is very like.
Oh yeah, potty,
you know what I mean?
Potty humor.
Yeah, so it matched, and I read his first book, and his first book was actually kind of interesting because it was about.
Oh, he got a book?
Yeah, he's got a book, and it describes like he used to be like a big time heroin and sex addict and stuff like that, and it was an interesting read. His second book was about him getting clean and marrying Katy Perry, so it was kind of not as interesting.
Yeah,
and I never finished it, but yeah, no, I mean, I was that big into him where I read his book and stuff, and like I
know that.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a long time. This is a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? This is a completely different phase of my life. But I think at one time I probably would have wanted to meet him. But now, especially like what he's become now.
Yeah, with all the political stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bizarre to see him turn that way because just Russell Brand is
that's not on brand. For
weirdly
him.
Liberal type person, but now he's like covering like. I still don't think he's right wing.
He's not.
But a lot of his viewpoints kind of lean that way, and it's just bizarre to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, it's still weird to see Russell Brand
talking about political issues.
Yeah. Like, just regardless. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It blows my mind, and it's just like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're right.
Because on the flip side of that, he's still talking about like, spirituality and like all this like meditation and blah, 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 like hippy dippy stuff. So it's just like, he's an enigma of a person. You know what I mean?
That's his way of changing. That's his way of changing now.
I suppose. It's bizarre.
So I take it that you don't want to meet Russell.
No, probably not.
Okay, got you. That's all I heard from all this. Like, I will never ever meet Russell Brand.
Yeah.
What if he came to the radio station?
I mean, I'd probably meet him then.
Yeah,
I'd poke my head out and be like, hey. But hey, that's all I got for you guys. So if you want to contact us, you can find us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, On The Go with Jacob and James, all one word. You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. And you can find James on Instagram at
James9794.
Yep. That's all we got for you guys today. Hey, have a good week. We'll talk to you on Friday. I'm on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go.
Peace.
Peace.